Hello everyone, welcome to my studio. My name is Eric Herman. I'm doing a short video tutorial, this template that I've created for Ableton called Rapid Flow. I'm just going to run into the second track on this set. Okay, I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of what you can do with this template. Let me give you first maybe a little bit of input why I made this, and a little bit of background maybe also on myself. I'll keep it very short. I've been making music, and I actually studied sound engineering something like, I think it was 25 years ago or something in Amsterdam. And since then I worked for a pretty long time as a sound engineer and a musician. And what I'd found is that I would spend a long time working on tracks in a very linear way, making a sequence, drawing out the blocks and doing all the things. And it became a chore at a certain point. And I'm decently disciplined, so I would get through it, but it really wouldn't be that much more fun. I've come across a lot of people that make music, some as a hobby, some full-time. And it seems to be a very long, painstaking process for many of us. And through collaborating with people and doing master classes with amazing musicians such as Frank Wiedemann or Sebastian Müllert, I started to realize that a lot of the advice they give in their master classes is about how to keep the creativity and the positive flow in your music. And of course also some sort of technical tips and ideas how you can make sure that you hold the space for being creative without being too distracted from all the technical things. So what they do, and what many people I've seen using live to play gigs and to work in the studio do, is stick to a very simple template, which is in essence what I've also built here, where you have 8 tracks, and in those 8 tracks everything has to happen that can make up a track for live playing. And the beauty of doing it in this way is that you can then control your whole set through one simple controller. It can be the Akai APC40 MK2, which is quite nice, but you could also do it with something simple like the Akai MIDI mix. So let me show you a little bit what's happening in these tracks, a little bit of sound, a little bit of music. So let me play you the track with and without the mastering. Yes, so what the mastering is doing is it's removing some mud. We just with a simple EQ around 200. This is sort of best practice in sound engineering. Often this area doesn't sound really nice. It has a bit of a mid lift, not too much, 2 dBs, and a bit of a highs lift. Notice this isn't a shelf, because all the stuff up here it just hurts your ears, to quote Mr. Einmusik. Which, he's absolutely right. You don't need this stuff all the way up here. It doesn't sound nice on a system. It just hisses and gives you tinnitus. So thank you for that tip. He uses Decimort on a lot of his drums and stuff to reduce those high frequencies, which I actually also do often after seeing his fantastic tutorial over on Cine, I think it's called. Really cool tutorials. Also, there's one there of stimming, which is super cool. Rob Babic has his tutorial there. Also very much recommend checking those out. So yeah, this is learned from Einmusik. Odd, I think, is a staple, probably co-invented of deadmau5, so over the top. Is doing some work on the entire frequency spectrum. yeah, it's giving it a little bit of a lift, mostly in the mids and the highs. There is again an EQ to adapt your signal to a PA that's not doing what you want, or if you've made some mistakes in your mix, then here you can kind of do a quick fix if you need to. But I would recommend leaving this off, especially while you're producing. Then there's a clipper. And this is interesting. This is actually, to my shame, only something that I've gotten into quite recently. Let me put in a Pro L2 just to show you what this thing is doing. And thank you to FabFilter for providing this as an NFR also. So basically what this is doing is it's catching some peaks on the channel, on the outputs, so that it doesn't go into your limiters and force them to clamp down. So you see that peak that came through as soon as I switched off the clipper? Let's have a look. I'm going to leave it off and run the audio again. Now switching on the clipper. So it's just chopping away those high peaks when those toms are hitting on the kicks. I've always heard it's best practice not to put, bass and kick together and toms and kicks together, which, yeah, makes a lot of sense somewhere, but I find it's a shame if you can't do it. So this is somehow a workaround for that. Otherwise, rhythms all start to sound the same, and basses and kicks all start to sound the same. So, yeah, this sort of fixes that problem. You can do some stuff with automation, but I like being able to put kicks and basses on the one sometimes. It keeps things, yeah, a bit more dynamic, I guess. So, I guess a bit more open, gives you more possibilities. So I'm going to remove this Pro L. We don't need it for the set. As I said, the set is Ableton Suite only. We have a bus comp with a slow attack, fast release, just a little bit of compression, which is just, gluing together the signal a bit. Let's have a listen. So, it's just doing like a dB or two, but it really adds to the glue. The guys from Cytomic did a great job on this compressor. Then we have, of course, the output limiter, and maybe just a little something to show you that the ceiling is set to -1 here. That's apparently best practice and what Spotify and iTunes, Apple Music, etc. expect as your maximum level, because when they encode for streaming, sometimes overs can occur if you're going out all the way to -0.3, right? So this is set so that if you export tracks from this, they'll be ready to stream. But if you're playing live, I guess you could put this up to -0.3. But if this, 1 dB, 0.7 dB is really going to make a difference, I don't know. So I just kind of leave it like that, just so that you know why this is going out at that level. And then there is another utility gain, because just for, just to make sure that this can't go up somehow by mistake during the set, it's already at max, and this makes sure that we're not clipping. Okay, so we've gone through now the effects and the mastering chain. Okay, so you can get the template over on Gumroad. I'll link it below the video. It's $1, €1 to get it. Tips are appreciated, as well as follows and likes on social media. But yeah, more than anything, I hope that this template is useful to you, that you get off to a flying start with it if you're a beginner, and I wish you a great time in the studio. All right, take care. Bye-bye.